Hi there, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Thank you so much for stopping by today. My friend Donna over at Creative by Nature asked me to co-host this modern farmhouse boho DIY collab with her and all of these wonderful YouTube creators. There will be a playlist link down in my description box, so make sure when you're done with my video, you go check that out. I decided to do some modern farmhouse decor. I thrifted this glass bowl for $3. Look at it, it's gorgeous. I'm going to use some 100% acetone to clean off the residue from the sticker and just to give it an overall cleaning, get all of the germs off of it and get it nice and shiny, ready for my next step. I decided to put some stencil flowers onto this vase. I'm using chalk paint, and of course, I'm not going to be able to wash this, which is fine. It's going to be a display item. So I'm just going to use some painter's tape and tape off where I'm going to stencil. So I have to be honest with you guys, I am not 100% sure what modern farmhouse means. I think it means do something with a farmhouse style, but make it a little more up to date with decor of today. I think that's what it might be. Anyhow, I'm going to do my best to interpret that. I'm going to stencil random flowers around the vase. I'm not going to go all the way around. I'm going to do a bit of an up and down pattern just so you get a little bit of I think a farmhouse feel to it, but because this is a glass vase that looks very modern, I'm hoping to just give it a little bit of a farmhouse look. I've been following Donna over at Creative by Nature for quite some time now. I love her channel. She does some amazing things and she incorporates nature into all of her projects. If you aren't already subscribed to Donna, please go ahead and do so and tell her I sent you. I just love it when the ideas that I have in my head turn out the way I thought. This one is turning out absolutely gorgeous. Look at those flowers and how they contrast with the clear vase. I think this piece is absolutely beautiful. Next, I'm using this Dollar Tree wreath form, but I'm going to be trimming out the interior circle and the exterior circle. I only want to be able to use the two pieces in the center. I'm just using some snips and I'm going to go all the way around and just cut through until I get all of the pieces removed. So here's the wreath form, and I'm going to be using all of my Dollarama greenery and florals, and I think I have some thrifted items in here as well. I'll let you know that when I get to them. I'm going to trim these apart and I'm going to add them all the way around the exterior of the wreath form. When you're using these Dollar Tree wire wreath forms, sometimes it's difficult to get the hot glue to stick properly because of its plastic going onto metal, but you have to just use a good amount of glue. The other thing you could do is wrap the frame with something. You could use burlap, you could use twine, and then that would just give your florals something extra to hang onto, and the glue would adhere quite a bit better. For this particular wreath, I didn't want any burlap or twine or anything else but the greenery showing. So I decided to just stick it out and use all the hot glue I needed to make sure everything stays in place. I'm going to add these limes that I picked up at a thrift store last year. I had a huge bag of them for like $2. They have a little bit of a sparkle to them, but that's okay. It's not too bright and they look really pretty. Here's the main reason why I'm only using the two interior parts of the wire form. I only wanted this to be a very sparse wreath. I don't want it too full. And now that I'm flipping it over, I'm going to be able to nestle those limes into the curve and hot glue them on properly at the back so they don't fall off. I like to work with odd numbers, so I have 3 limes evenly spread apart on the wreath, and now I'm going to add some additional ones. You're probably looking at this wreath right now thinking, oh man, that's pretty lame. I'm going to be adding some fillers now because I do need it to have a little bit more fullness. Right now it is really too sparse. So I have this asparagus fern from the dollar store. It's from my local Dollarama, and I'm going to be adding that all the way throughout the wreath. So here it is looking a little bit fuller, a little bit better. I've got these really pretty pale yellow flower stems that I'm going to be adding in as well, just to give it a little bit of extra color. Lastly, I'm just going to add little bits of the fern pieces just to fill it in a little bit more. This wreath turned out really pretty. I love how it looks, and it's really gorgeous on the wall, but I think eventually it's going to end up over on my front door for the summer. The last project I have for you today is also a thrift store flip. This was $4. It was a little on the pricey side, but I really liked the square shape of it and the detail on the frame itself. The problem is I didn't want to take the backing off. It was a really stiff backing, so I wanted the glass gone. I took my little hammer and I smacked it and took out all the glass. I originally thought this piece was a tile, but it's just a piece of plastic. And this cardboard was glued right onto the backing, so it was the perfect foundation for what I was going to do next. I'm taking some of these wood garden stakes and cutting them down to size, and then I'll just use my hot glue gun to glue them in place. I want this to have a shiplap look to it, but I'm not going to paint it completely white. I've decided to do something a little more modern with it. The cardboard didn't go all the way to the bottom, and I needed a little bit of support there, so I took some of the little pieces that were cut off from the wood sticks and glued them on to make them the same height as the cardboard. Even though the frame looks really nice black, I'm going to use my white DIY chalk paint and a Bennett chalk paint brush to give this a few coats of white paint. I think it's going to distress really nicely because of the black underneath, so that's what I'm going to do. I want all of those details to pop, but I need to paint it with white first. I've seen a trend happening on Pinterest and other online platforms where they do a shiplap kind of look, but the boards are all painted in different colors. I'm going to choose 2 of the boards to paint them white, and then I'm going to add some different colors to make it more modern looking. The rest of the boards I'm going to paint with grays and tans and beiges. I want them to look like weathered wood pieces, and they're just going to be in random order. I'm not really doing a specific pattern for this. The colors are all finished, and now I'm going to take some fine grit sandpaper and do a little bit of sanding just to bring out some of the details of the frame. When I'm distressing with sandpaper, I go over all of the bumps and the ridges, anywhere where I think there would be some natural wear from use of the item. I just love how this frame is turning out, but it does need a little bit something extra. I've rummaged through my stash and I found 3 of these drawer knobs. I'm going to paint them with silver hammered metal finish and then glue them onto the frame. I also decided to do a little bit of dry brushing on the boards. I'm just going to be using white chalk paint. If you've been following me on my channel, you will know that this Weldbond glue is my absolute favorite glue to use. I'll have a link to it down in my description box. You've got to try some. This is different than E6000. It has the texture of a white glue, more of like a construction glue, but it bonds to wood, plastic, tile, metal, you name it, this glue will stick to it. The other reason I love it so much is that within about 10 minutes, I'll be able to continue working with my project. So I don't need to use a combination of this glue and hot glue to continue working with my project. It really helps to save time. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to go check out that playlist link so you can see what everyone else created. If you like seeing this kind of content, I would love for you to stick around a while by clicking on that red subscribe button. You can also hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. See you in the next one.